Otiam?
Greetings, Daza.
Grand.
Can't complain, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Nginomakhosi namhlanje. Awungitshela igama leJoel buyaphi ndoda?
Asiqale la kaMakhosini when I'm told endlini when I was born, I was the firstborn. And everyone wanted to ngiphi igama to say we're going to name this child.
You are the special one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And apparently my aunt, the sister to my father, said no, stop it. You know, ubukhosi abulwelwa emakhosini.
Yo. Why nilwa la?
And everyone decided, okay, umakhosini.
And that was it.
That was it.
She won the battle.
And everyone was like, yebo, umakhosini, yebo. Even
Done.
my father, yeah,
Yes.
umakhosini.
Yes. Wow.
And then my grandfather was called Henry, taken from the navigator.
Oh, yes.
Henry the navigator.
Yes.
And but umakhosini Henry wakaXaba, unonkosi uShwabadi. But as I was growing into the industry, yeah, it was those times, you know, in the early 80s, getting into the industry. Everywhere I go, when I come as an artist, I started as a group. We used to call ourselves Shakaru.
We'll come to that.
Yes, I'm getting to the Joe part of it.
Oh, in the chain, Linda.
Yeah, in the Cancun. So every place I went to go, but I had to change my name like at least 6 times before I was Jonina.
Really?
Yes.
So you didn't settle, you didn't just become Jonina?
No. Jonina was a long journey. and I'm happy that he's still here with me.
Well, but what made you stop at Jonina? Because clearly you were a man in a search.
Yes, but the search, I was getting to the story of the search. You'd go to a record company and say, here's my music. And say, hey man, that name will never sell. 99, point blank.
Record labels.
I'm like, okay, I'll come up with a name. And I remember the first producer I got, may soul rest in peace, Chisman. He called me King Rap.
Him, I thought.
I was a rapper at that the time of MC Hammer.
So,
can't touch this.
What rapper?
I was rapping full time.
Do you remember some of the lyrics?
Come Mandy, come Mandy, come baby. You had I forgot the words, but it was about the float, you know,
yes.
on the float itself. And and after that we tilt away with him. He decided to call me Hot Slot Machine because he believed that every music I'm going to make was going to make money. After King Rap, I was then called Hot Slot Machine because he truly believed that I was going to make lots of money from music. and you know what's amazing about that part, which is another journey, is that one of the singles from that Hot Slot Machine is already making big waves as we speak now in 2021.
What?
In Netherlands.
When did you record it?
1988.
That's crazy.
Yes, 1988.
So Hot Slot Machine is back.
Like you won't believe. Back on vinyl for that matter.
What?
Yes, man.
So if you were to appear on stage in Netherlands, you'll have a crowd.
As Hot Slot Machine. Which I'm also still fighting with Galo, unfortunately. Because apparently they bought some of that. Because I was with a company called Diamond Music.
Yeah.
Apparently it was bought by Tusk Music.
How about that?
Tusk Music is now bought by Galo.
So they bought
now Galo wants to say yes. But now I don't think they know that it was a licensing deal. It was not a record deal, you know. But we're still waiting for that. But we will see.
Hopefully you'll get there.
We'll see that in time.
Amazing how they called you Hot Slot Machine, but they didn't allow you to make the money.
They don't want me to. They literally block the doors. Like, what? Where are you going?
If you're watching this show from Netherlands, I'm with Hot Slot Machine.
Right, yeah.
That's so funny. Where were you born out here?
I was born in KwaThema Springs, the East End, which is called Ekurhuleni now. Yeah, okay. And
you seem to have issues with Ekurhuleni.
Well, when I was growing up, that side was vibrant, my man. It was beautiful. A lot of the history of KwaThema is not being told.
Yeah.
And by the time they changed it to Ekurhuleni, firstly, I didn't know why, and I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And I really wanted some answers, you know, because that's where I come from. It's my home. I've got that much of a right as well. And I started looking at the things that were happening in Ekurhuleni. It was the opposite of what it was when we used to call it Last Town.
Oh,
you know,
why Last Town?
Train hamba yonke indawo mayifika eSprings Ainruli.
Then Yabuer.
Back to
Ha!
last town. Yeah, last door.
I like those type of names. Eh?
So for me, Ekurhuleni, it's cool, but for me, it's still last
town.
Yes,
yeah.
man. KwaThema Springs.
The vibe of the East End is known to be quite musical, that part of the world.
Yes.
It's known to produce a lot of gospel artists.
For sure.
It's known to Abo Lira come from that part of the world.
Yes.
There's a lot of these gospel artists that come from there. Where does that come from? You know, there's a research that was done that speaks about talent areas.
Yes.
You know, Brazil, soccer, and so forth. And then the Kenyans can run fast. That myth apparently has been busted. There's nothing like that. It's just how people collectively put effort into a particular sport.
At a certain time.
Exactly.
At a certain time.
There's nothing like Utolaban Tubains I saw in this area.
At
No.
a certain, to add on that one, the music part of it was very big.
Yeah.
In Ekurhuleni, especially the last town. Brahuma Sikela, for those who are part of Brahus, if they know his family, there was a timer who used to play trumpet in KwaThema. He shared a lot with Brahu, and he actually showed Brahu a lot of things
Okay.
on his trumpet.
Yeah.
I'm just Brabanzi Bangani. It's his name. May his soul rest in peace as well. And there were a lot of groups that came from KwaThema.
Yeah.
And I'm talking legendaries that went to the States before a lot of these musicians that are known today to have gone to the States at the time when people were calling themselves Abantawasliza because of the apartheid and all of that.
Exactly.
There's lots and lots. So KwaThema at that time, the last town, was great with soccer. We're talking of teenage boats also.
Of course. The list is very good.
And then music.
Yeah.
I think I would even today, but now we don't even send spaces to do that,
Yeah.
which is why I'm saying Ekurhuleni.
But what was it about it? Can you put a finger on something about Guti? It's just people that loved the music, or what was it about it?
Coming to think of it now, because I was talking about it in the car with my Buddha who was driving us here, is there was a hall in KwaThema, which is still there. It was called, I don't know why they changed it to H.H. Ngakane now. The Acoustics.
Okay.
Because that's what makes music.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yes,
a lot of musicians don't know that, which is sad.
It's how the room is done.
It's important.
Yeah.
So that hall was amazing. I'm talking when Brenda Fassie just released with the big shoots.
Yes.
The first one, You Don't Come Around.
Okay.
To See
Yeah.
Me, Weekend Special.
Special.
The biggest bash of that song was in that hall.
Wow.
And I think I was a couple of years old because
Yes.
they would come every time they had a performance there. They would tell my father, because he had a band, he would come and open for them.
Okay.
So I would be there already to see all these stars as they came. Black Mambazo once came and played there. I put lots of names, some of them that I just off my head, man, because I traveled all the way thinking, I'm going to do this. It's been a long time.
Well, but it's your life story.
Yes, but and the Acoustics, I think that on its own was inspiring everyone to say if they walk past to go to school, they like, one day I want to sing in there.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? That on its own, the stadium was looking cool. And lots of kids, when they're walking past, one day I'm going to play there, I'm going to run. We had Bayoyo, who was the runner as well.
Okay.
He was running at that stadium. But now if you look at those two facilities, it's
a sad reality of this country.
Our ghettos, they become ghetto for you.
It's a sad part of the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I still believe in all these townships, all our townships. There's a lot of talent. It's just a matter of one deciding, like I have. When I see one, I'm going to grab them. We're going to develop them. We're going to take them out there, whether we get the muscle to do it from the other parties, whatsoever.
But we'll do it.
We're going one way or the other. We're going there.
Tell me, who was home when you were born? But you know how we grow up in families, in big families, where there's uncles and so forth and so forth. But who was there at that time?
When my mother tells me, she says my aunt was there, my grandfather, not my grandfather, my father's brother, Umkhulu, who is Henry.
Ramkhulu,
that's it. Rangwane as well was there, Babamkhulu drums. My aunt who moved to Swaziland, she also passed away.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people because it was like this magic is really coming. Everyone believed I was a magical child. That's what I'm told. But because I always try and remember what is it that I think was special about me when I was growing up. Or
Yeah.
ID that I don't remember much. I just know that I was a bit naughty at some
Yes.
point, you know, but I was growing up.
The golden child.
I was growing
You
up.
were the golden child.
Yes, mother.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but with the music in the family, was it there at all?
The music was there all the way. My aunt was a lead singer at their church,
Okay.
Zion.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
And my mother was a backing vocalist
Wow.
in my father's band.
Jeez.
So you can imagine, I wake up in a room full of instruments.
Yes.
There's drum kit there, there's a bass amp, there's a
Wow.
bass, there's a guitar amp, there's a guitar. My father was playing a lot of saxophone at the time. There's keyboards. Those times it was mostly organs. Diamond
Yeah.
D it was called.
Whoa.
Lezi zabombhaqanga, boPramosis,
Oh, yeah.
Ngwenya.
But they used to-
Yes, so yes, I was born into a lot of instruments and
Yeah.
musicians in the family.
Did your dad record his music? Did he ever release his sound?
Yes, it's just that in my family, I think that's why I'm also struggling now, because I learned that from my father. He had a few hits apparently before me. One was called Springs Lekker Krap. When there was a time of that sickness
Yes, I
of
know.
itchiness.
He released the song.
Springs Lekker Krap. It was a sound.
Chicken pox.
Yeah, that's it.
Lekker
That's
krap.
it. Springs Lekker Krap, which was played by a saxophone. He then later on apparently worked with his first band, which was called the Shamings.
Wow.
They did about 2 albums. I only have an idea in mind. what they
Released
used
and
to-
all, eh?
Yeah, on LP.
On vinyl.
And then the one that I remember very well that was released when the groups they reformed the band again, and they were calling themselves the Jets, as in Amapanoi Woman.
Hey, whoa.
You're like
Yes,
Jets.
taking off.
Yeah. now I remember why I always like saying my computer is fast like a private jet.
It was your dad's influence.
Now I know. Yes, but yes, I was born into it so much. Yes, they released a couple of music, and we worked a lot with Bra Western Kosi.
Okay.
I knew Bra Steve Kekana and Bra Babsi Mlangeni through my father,
Okay.
who are now my brothers, friends, and colleagues.
It's amazing, eh?
Yes.
So you didn't have a choice.
No, I didn't, and I'm happy I didn't, because when I was growing up, I think it was when I was Kenneth Masekela, when I was doing standard, I don't know what they call it now.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I'm quite good at it.
Standard 3 or standard 4.
It's grade 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it's grade 2, I'm correct.
No. After, because standard 5 was when you finish in the
Yes.
primary. Sorry.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's standard 6 or standard 7 or 8.
It's grade 8 or
That's it.
something like
Yeah,
that.
somewhere
Yeah.
there.
We
Already, I was convinced.
We're old.
It's terrible.
We have to minus 2 and you're fine.
And we need to catch up.
We have to.
Because this technology, it's got some.
We
As
have
much
to.
as I've seen a lot of disadvantages, I've seen also advantages.
That's
on it.
true.
Yes. Then I was sure I was going to be a doctor.
Really?
Like serious, with that mathematics taking place.
Applied.
With that physics coming nice, you know.
So
'Cause
when you're one of the-
remember that in those, I don't know now how they've got the subjects
Yeah.
at school. Then we used to have mathematics, physics, and
And-
biology.
Yes,
all
as
three.
a group.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you get those 3 right, then you
So you were one of those kids
Yeah.
because you're quite special at high school when you do those.
Yes.
Tina mina ngenza ama-commerce, mate.
yo when ufuna about lawyer so much.
Ngifuna imali,
Empire.
ama-accounting. I wanted money.
But yes, I did a lot of that, and I was convinced of. And the teachers at school were really convinced until I started disappearing from school, and I thought something is wrong with me.
Ow.
And I was disappearing because I was going to Jozi in a train to go do sessions.
By the time you knew how to play which instrument? Keys.
Keys. Because my first instrument was drums. I couldn't do sessions of drums.
Yes,
Because I
yes.
only play with my father's band if the member is not there. and all
Yeah.
that. But when I started having keys, I used to do my own demos. But then once they got to hear me in Jozi, and they liked me. So like they will call me, remember those 011737 numbers. Yakalo, makhosini phone yakho. Hello sisithogo. Mntanami uzokwazi ukufika ngolosithathu.
And you're at school.
And I can't tell my
These irresponsible adults.
but they were paying, sorry to say. I used to have like $600 at that time. I mean, $600 was a lot of money.
Dude, and you're in high school.
It was a lot of money.
You could have bought a house.
So much that I would just only take $100 into my socks. and
Yes.
take the whole $500 and lie to my father that I was doing a session last week Saturday, and here's the money I got for it. Was
And then you keep 100.
and then he gives me 20 rands. So I've got 120.
I wonder if he ever saved the money for you. Wow, man.
They bought me a lot of equipment from this money. So
I guess.
I'm grateful, yes.
And drums. What led to you being interested in drums?
I think it's because every time they went to the weddings, remember they used to play in the gigs of the weddings as well in those olden days. The weddings were big.
Yeah.
So I was a baby apparently, and when I fall asleep at the back, they would put me inside a bass drum, put the blanket nicely. Then the show goes on, and I'm sleeping there. I can't hear a thing. Instead, the doof doof beats with my heart. Like,
Wow, that's an amazing story,
so it happened that every time they were not there, I would check and remember what they were doing. And one day they had a gig. It was in the morning of Saturday when they need to pack the equipment, and they realized the drummer is not there. And I said, I can do it.
He said, how?
I can do it. And we went. I remember the place was called Vlakfontein Mine. It's closer there.
Yeah.
And normally they would get in December, whereas about Jablisa Bonka Bantu and Komponi before they leave. So they gave me drumsticks first while we were connecting to that side now to say, let's check this. Now, remember that I'm always there when they rehearse.
Yeah. So you know the songs.
I know the roles, and I hold the gig, and I was paid with pine nut. Pine nut.
To young people, pine nut is cool drink.
Yes.
Do they still sell it?
Yes, they do. They do. A lot of them know pine nut. It's also because I still love it. Once in a while, I buy myself a 2 liter of pine nut, put a lot of ice there in a jug, and then pine nut and
it takes you back.
Yes.
How old were you then?
I think I was 11, if not 10.
So you were one of those kids we see on YouTube now who are playing drums and they're still kids.
And then when I was 12, that's when I started the keys. So when I was 13, I think I was doing both semi-professional.
Hey, this guy. And you wasted time with us.
Well, I had to come because I didn't know the other part of the world, the other part of the business. I had to come and listen to whatever else the people are doing, and learn a few more things. But I bent my fingers so many times.
I can imagine.
And like my first LP, I think I was 14 years old. 1988, I think.
What was your name then?
I was Terence McCool.
Here's a man with a million names. Terence McCool.
The first album was called T McCool.
Where does that come from?
Now, there was a cartoon I used to like. I don't see it now on the cartoon channel.
Yes.
And it was called McCool.
Okay.
Number one.
Yeah.
It was like a private investigator. So I used to like it. Whatever happens, when that plays, I need to go to the TV and watch.
Yeah.
Even if they're rehearsing, they're going to just have, in 30 minutes. And then I go back and play. And then when I got there, this guy decided to say, okay, your name is going to be T McCool. Why? Because you called yourself Terence before. So you are Terence McCool, T McCool.
So your first album has Terence McCool, T McCool. That's the song.
That's the song. It was actually driven from meaning she's running away from the house.
That's a classic South African song, that melody.
Most definitely.
Do you know it's one of the few songs I can play on piano? One of the very few.
Okay. This is definitely a chant. I didn't know you can play piano.
No, that's the only thing I can play. I can also play Happy Birthday to You.
Okay, nice. At least you've got a sense of notes, man. There's people who produce these songs still finish without knowing one note.
Because lately, the world is different.
Yeah, they don't need it.
And you can also buy these stems, and you can also buy all these
and samples and
these samples
bass
and
drums and beats and what? I'm a beat maker, man. I guess the drumsticks and no beat can be played.
You go to what is this Loop Cloud? You can make hits.
I saw it. Even those days. Remember when there was beats like grooves like Black Box? There were lots of loops then.
Of course.
But remember, the loop was just there to beef up the sound.
The sound, not to be the song.
The song. No. The drum pattern would go back. Then just to shake it up a bit for the movement, But now the loop on its own is a song.
Loop.
Zanzi for sure.
Take us back to your journey of these bands. Because one thing I've learned, interesting, I was reading a profile here, Awuchab Kanyile. Now, he started with drums as well and moved from band to band to band. The Delphonics at some point and the guitars or something like that. He's done it all. So your journey has a lot of trial and error as well.
Absolutely. Fortunately, in my case, is that the first time I went to Josie to take my demo through, I went with my father. And he knew a few guys. And some of them were like, he's too young, and the style he's playing is different. Because I was just doing my vibe,
You were enjoying
as much
yourself.
as I grew up in the Pakanga era at the time. I was showing my new things then. The producers at the time and the A&R departments were like, "Ay, what in this
So they said,
this one sell, yeah." And so I kept to myself so much that when the guy Getes Cheeseman discovered me, he just adored me so much that it was just me. I remember in Tembisa, I moved to Tembisa to stay with him. One day my parents came there with the kumbi to pick me up. Said, come back home, and this is too much. At least go finish your matric.
You were.
I was already making money.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're sitting in the house there. He's paying the rent with some of the royalties and some of the gigs that I do.
And you making music. He was in a record label.
He was in a record label. He first was with Eric Frisch, if you remember Eric Frisch.
Yeah.
He's the one who took me through to Diamond Music. But he worked a great deal. I mean, there was guys like Soxley Japera, which I worked close to as well at the time. Sinyaka before he moved to Soweto Full Force again.
And you were a kid.
Yes, when he did Zero. How many times? I was with Malcolm when they were doing those songs as well. I read in Tembisa. It's quite a lot, but it was just me with them. The trials that I would say that I went through was signing wrong agreements. But thanks God, today I'm surviving that because all of those who signed me at that time, I was a minor.
Oh, yes, of course. And they signed you. They were not supposed to.
Well, there's no guardian, so that contract is null and void.
Amazing.
And,
good for you.
Yeah, man. You see,
the story ends well.
And I'm still saying it. I'm even saying live on air, unless they want to go change the law. The law says that and stipulates that. And
you were not supposed to sign.
If it's not my fault, they said I must sign. I wanted the record deal, so I signed.
And you were getting money.
I got my money, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed making music too.
Jeez.
Yeah, so those are the parts. There was also another beautiful part of my life. Working a lot with Mr. Ray Piri.
Whoa, you worked with that man?
Not only, my label is called Killer Joe Records.
Yes.
It was named by
wow, Brare.
I call him Babes Banze. She was my partner, my friend, my father, my brother. It was
amazing. Do you know something about Brare? And sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
He made everyone feel special.
True.
He's been to the studio so many times. And half the time was just to greet.
Absolutely.
He was that kind of guy.
Yeah, he was sweet. He had a beautiful soul as well.
Yeah.
And when he sees talent, he really sees talent. I remember when people were telling me how he discovered me or know about me is he was in the States when they're doing that thing with Paul Simon.
Yes.
And he was telling them that there's this young boy who's making waves back home with Jonina, the name. And I'm buying these speakers and this so that when I go back home, I'm going to fit the studio.
Wow.
We're going to work together. And when he came back for real, he's the one who says, I really want you to be my partner.
That's
only,
amazing.
but in the studio.
Yes.
And that's when I started improving my engineering because then I really had my full-on studio where I could get in 10 in the morning till 10 tomorrow, 12, 16 hours, however many hours.
You would just work.
And then he was telling me the story that Quincy Jones had a song called Killer Joe. And they were trying to think who could be or who could fit that actual thing.
Yeah.
He says, you are Killer Joe.
You are Killer Joe.
And we're going to call our record label Killer Joe Records.
Amazing.
So I'm grateful to him and I'm very grateful. And the fact that at least I still have one song that I did with him.
I wanted to ask, did you guys do any music together?
Yes, there's a song called Rain Down. I think I was going through tough times. You know. When I fall in love, I fall deep in love.
Yeah, no, I've seen you. I've seen you. Comrades, I've seen you.
Yes.
You know, he's one of those guys. I've interviewed a lot of people in my career. Jonina is the only guy that came with his wife or girlfriend at the time.
Yes.
And she was just sitting there waiting for you.
And then we go home. So I fall deep, but so much deep that when it hits hard.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
And
the highs are as bad as the lows.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I think at that time when we wrote that song, I was telling Brare about this thing is driving me nuts. Now I cannot function. I cannot write anything. My melody just is, and I can't
You're
go.
crying.
Deep down, you know, and it says, you know, this song is, we should call it "You Can Talk Till We Are Blue in the
face." Yeah.
And I said, let's rather call it "I Hope It Rains Down so it can wipe away my tears."
Wow. And you recorded his voice as well.
I even re-released it with Carlo when I was working with them 2 years ago. What I liked about him putting the song into a different perspective was that when we were completing the song, we never now wrote the song only about the pain I was feeling of that relationship.
Yes.
We were then talking about the relationship of human beings and
reality.
Oh
yes,
yeah, which is why in the beginning it says, "You can take it all, but not my spirit. It's mine." So it was also talking about those who are out there just to destroy arts, to destroy musicians, who are out there just to make sure that music is nothing but just a little box of
it was a
commercials.
Yes, it became a much bigger.
It was deeper. Yeah. It was much, much deeper. To say, some of us as musicians, we appreciate the change. We appreciate the change of technology and all of that. But some of us are still stuck in the reality and the beauty of originality.
True.
You know, the authentic part of things
when
it's done proper. You know, I need to see a real guitar, new strings, the pluck. You know this.
Yes.
You know, I appreciate the change, but don't take away the reality and the originality of it all, because that's where it's going now. That's when we've seen that already in 1990 something.
Interesting how the first thing you did when you walked into the studio, you moved things around. Joe is a sound engineer, musician through and through. The first thing you did was like, your speakers are not right. You need to angle them.
Yes. Which was nice. But what I'm liking about it, that after we've moved the speakers around and he was listening, he was like,
they sound better. They sound better.
And then to separate the two, because he was playing all four so that it can be nice and louder. But no, the idea is to have them each pair at a time, so that you know the frequencies are proper. And it was wow,
look at that, eh?
And I'm happy. And I think Teach owes me a royalty of that. He does beautiful music as well.
He does.
Yes. I think he's going to be one of the proper up and coming.
No, of course, he's beat maker. You know, beat makers. Yeah. I want us to go back to I like following these stories sequentially, so we know. From where to where.
Yes.
Now, the Tembisa, Bazenge Kumbi, they came to fetch you.
Yes. Okay, now that is before I met Prare, obviously.
Of course, yeah,
so
way before.
When they fetched me, they took me back home. And Cheeseman took some of the things that we've done already together. And came home in his car to now sit down my mother and my father and say, look, this is what this man is doing, and this is what he's done so far.
And this is what he's able to do.
And if you still force him to go back there, it's just going to waste more of his time. Obviously, if you let him go with your permission, I thought I was going to be killed that day.
Yeah.
With your permission.
Yo.
Because my father was heavy, you see.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, and when I had, I didn't tell you cold drinking. My father used to drink a lot of Coke.
Yeah.
That's actually what killed my father. Coca-Cola.
No.
2 liters a day, every day.
That's bad.
You know, when he's
so
stressed,
much sugar.
Yeah, and acid, especially that one in particular. And I was given my freedom to go and do music. I was like, yay.
So the father drank Coke and then said, he can go.
My man, you know, so...
Because that's not a small decision.
Yeah, it's a huge one, but I think they both thought about it before.
Yeah.
Before they even if when they came to pick me up, I wanted to understand, where am I? Am I in good hands, or I'm just out there messing up my life? Because you know what happens.
Yeah.
Young musicians or young kids, they want to do music. They leave home, they come to Josie, or they go wherever, and before you know it, they're on the street.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what was their fear. And thanks God that didn't happen to me. So the angels were always there.
No, true.
Checking me out. And then from there, I did my first, our relationship with Chisman got a bit sourish. So I met Peter Snyman, who was a manager to Brenda Fassie. And through a guy called Soli Mulepo. So Soli Mulepo calls me and says, still with Chisman. I said, I just finished doing something with Arthur Mafukati here for the Coca-Cola Full Blast, but I'm done my part. And he's going on and going on. And he says, listen, there's a song called Butterfly. And we're struggling to put it together. We've got about 3 or 4 keyboard players who came through. They just can't crack it. Like, I don't even know what song you're talking about.
Let's see.
She says, I'll pick you up. And I said, cool. And the studio was in Hillbrook.
You were still 16,
17, I think, yeah. And then he comes to my place at home in KwaThema.
Yeah.
Once again, my
Speak
father.
to the day.
Now my father is like, who are you? And he explains. And then now Mensol was like those coolest ones. He comes, he hides his beer in the car already, because he knows my father. And then he says, we just need him for today. There's a song apparently. We will leave the money here with you. Already leave some money. My father couldn't say no. He sees the cash.
Of course, yeah.
So you must bring him back before 9.
And unfortunately, he understood that music has funny hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he was just being a father.
Of course.
Which I respected.
That.
Which I respected. So we went to Hillbrook. I was introduced.
Very different Hillbrook at the time.
Yes, beautiful Hillbrook. Proper, clean, nice.
Very different.
A place called Pelbrook, I think.
You see.
KwaThema.
Yes, he'll be in here. He'll be sitting on that chair tomorrow.
And he plays me this song. I'm like, okay. This song we tried, man. And I'm like, okay.
It's not working.
Play it again, okay. And then they've got MC500, which was what the sequence I used then.
At the time,
I knew it very well at the time already.
So you're like,
I'm like, oh no, Doc, let me check this out. We called each other Doc immediately. Like, doctor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Doc, let me check it out. So listen, I go 1 and 2, 1. Okay, now I got it. Plays it again. I check the bar, right? The actual sequence of the song, the arrangement. I got the chords and I heard.
Jeez.
In like 2 or 3 hours, I was done. Not just with the keys, with the programming of the drums, the bass, the strings.
You came and rearranged the whole song, essentially.
And everyone was like, yes, Doc, this is it.
This is the one.
This is the one. Then I was introduced to Peter Snyman. You must come and work for us here. And apparently that was when Du was doing the LM jams or and things like that.
Yeah, I know when
those times.
That's mid-90s. No, early 90s.
Early 90s, yes.
Early 90s.
Actually, rather that's when Du went for the LM jam.
Okay.
Because he was working first with Peter Snyman. They were doing the what is it called again? Where we had Boss of the Road. LA Beat. He did the first LA Beat because all it was...
I had it on cassette.
Yes,
man.
all it was cover versions.
Yeah.
And then you do them as they are and release them. So they said, come. So I got my first job as a
programmer, as a beat maker.
Yeah, beat maker. I got my first job, got to tell them at home and they were cool. Got my flat already.
Dude, you're a kid.
Got money to pay for my sound system in the flat.
You've been paying rent for a long time.
Yeah, so I got my flat. Here we go. All right, cool. Then the first LA Beat, they gave me the songs that I needed to do. I would go downstairs. But now, reprogramming a song for me at that time was the most boring thing. And it was the most simplest thing.
Yeah, because you listen to it, you recreate it.
When they give me a cassette that I need to do in 2 weeks, I do it in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I'm waiting for the next one. But before I could finish this one, I was so bored. I said, do you mind if I put a original composition in it's just mine.
I have time.
So, no. Are you done with the rest? No, I'm done for real. Okay, we'll call it a bonus track. I said, no worries, just put it in. So I did a song called Boss of the Road.
The very Boss of the Road we know.
Which was a game changer.
What kind of music were you hearing in your head at that time?
If you remember very well, at that time, in early 90s, it was just a shift from disco, getting slowly into the mid-tempo kind of music.
Okay. It was bubblegum leaving into something else.
When I'm saying disco, it was disco. Remember that bubblegum
of
was
course,
disco?
It's disco, yes.
They just called it bubblegum because ours here was selling faster.
Very quick.
Like
so until you chew it and you throw it away.
Very quick, yes. So it was moving from that into that mid-tempo kind of a feel, you know. And so that's what I was feeling.
Because that was a very slow song.
Yes, it was. It was on the, what, like 90 BPM?
90 years, yeah.
I know it. Yes. And it was a smash. And from there, Sneeman was like, what?
Who's this kid?
And he says, okay, the next one you're going to do is, I think it was called, Gong. Gong was all my originals, by the way. It was never now.
Yeah, these remakes. Yeah.
And while I was doing Gong, I told them that they've got this song in mind and I'd like to release it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started calling myself Joe.
Hey.
And the song was called "She Likes My Love Song."
Yes.
And it was a beauty at that time, you know. But it was a dancing song.
A dance song.
So much that song today, it drove Professor so crazy that he, under the lockdown last year, he phoned me, Buddy, please, we gotta redo this song one way or the other. And we did the remake of that song, myself, Professor, and Zakwe, and it's called My Love Song. If you can check it out, that song goes.
We have to.
It goes way, 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 way back. It was 1991, if I'm not wrong, when that was released.
Let me see which one I find. My Love Song.
Yes.
I found this one easily. The one with Professor
and Zakwe.
That's the one.
And it's not far away from the
original.
We just put little papers of today on top.
Of course.
Bitches. Just so it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool. Where's
yes.
Shakes? Hold on, let me help you.
Ngihlala amacassette everyone ngiyaforward ngifuna CD fast singene
This is a good song, man.
Now you hear the bass.
So this song was also done around that time.
Around that time. This is originally 1990, 1991. Around it.
So 1990, 1991, yes. Again, you were still in your teens.
Yes.
You were 18 or so.
Around those times,
yeah.
Yes. And that was...
If not younger.
No, I'm just bad with my timing and age.
Yes.
But yes, so that was the first album as Joe Nina, which, if the favorite part of this song is this one, come here.
Yeah.
That says... and then now you know what I mean.
How do we forget all of that?
That's the original right there.
Wow, cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
wow, man.
So that was the second song that was for me, and I don't know. I stand for those who wants to tell the history of my country better or of my industry better. But for me, that was the second song that created noise of where the Kwaito was really going.
Aha.
You see, and
because that was very early.
Yeah.
Kwaito hadn't found its feet yet. Yeah.
And then after that, I did an album for myself called One Time, One Vibe. That's when you find songs like Unamavava.
Okay. Oh, yes. So what you Dude, you were lyrically very sharp as well.
Yes.
It wasn't just...
The idea was also, because I was feeling like everyone thinks that if you're a guy from the ghetto, for you to be heard or for you to even come across as a nice or romantic person, you must speak English only.
Yeah,
So I was thinking,
never.
we can hold this thing in the ghetto.
Good
And it worked a great deal. And my favor was about my sister.
Yes,
No, I'm a cheater.
I'm a cheater.
I'm about my sister. And it was a beauty. It was a beauty. And some of these words, when you just would come up with them. Just like that. And before you know it, it's part of the lingo.
Jeez.
And it was a beauty. So after that, we did the one time, one vibe.
Let me see. Because I like the idea of taking people back.
Yes, if there's some are there, because some are too old.
Yeah, I know.
They were on cassettes, and those companies
they
were
just
sold or taken, and they're in some library somewhere, stuck in some factory and locked and full of dust.
It's so sad.
It's very sad. And musicians cannot make money out of those.
That stuff. And it could be loaded on all sorts of platforms, at least some money instead of nothing at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just
you're right. It's not there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then after that, Peter Sneeman was too excited now. He says,
we have a jam here.
You know what? There's a new album that must come. Brenda wants to do something fresh. You know, she just did a smash hit. Indaba yami straight.
Oh.
And after that, we don't know where Brenda would go. It's gonna be a mess. What do you think? I said, say what? Brenda Fassie? I said, yes. Would you? I said, Brenda Fassie for real. Like,
were you overwhelmed though by?
Yeah, extremely. I was extremely. I mean, because that beautiful person was also crazy, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. She was crazy.
She was the biggest star.
Man. She used to come there while I was downstairs doing my thing. And she would go, oh, I know you're smart. What? Mush and all that. So it was just that. I'm like, oh, thank you. I love your voice, by the way. and Peter Sneeman said, listen, what I'm telling you now is what she told me yesterday. You wanted to come here herself. I'm like, I mean, maybe you're making a joke here, you know, and I need to knock off early today. I've got friends meeting me at my place. I had a flat already.
Of course.
And no, before I know it, I hear the noise upstairs because the studio was downstairs, the shop was upstairs. Opie. Oh,
you can.
Opie.
That's Brenda. That's Brenda for you.
And I was like, no, God. No. And she came. When we produce I am.
Sure.
Just like that.
Jeez,
I'm like,
man.
okay. You know, one of the songs from Mama Vava Namatewe, she says, oh, it's a scoop lisan, and she would dance, and then she's got her drink, you know.
Yeah, that's Brenda Fassie. I just create the song.
I remember those phones we had those times, the ones
of course,
were aerial.
Hello.
Okay, no, so phone Sue. I was so excited when she left. I stayed because I remember I said I stayed because the song came immediately in my mind, and slowly it came. And I think it was the mellow one first because she wanted something mellow before. So Aksasemnandi yo Kibambe futi yo.
No way.
And say that you love me.
That's a Joe Nina song.
Yes. And I wrote that and she's like, what? Yeah, beautiful. All right, now she came the next day. She was very excited. So she's booking another studio where we're going to go do vocals.
Yeah.
She didn't like the setup down there. Because remember, that setup was just nice.
It was just for you.
For cover versions.
Yes.
Next.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I just get a groove, you know. And I'm trying to remember it quickly. Hambango 7.
Yes.
And then Brenda Fassie was out of her mind. Did the next. I actually wrote almost all the songs on that album. And before I know it, she then says, Snay, this one doesn't deserve to be mastered and mixed in South Africa.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know what this means, you know. And she was serious. Before I know it, they were asking me about my passport. I think I was 19, now that I remember now.
And where do they want you to be now?
Passport. Okay.
Where are you going?
Home Affairs quickly. I got the passport. Cool. Oh, easy. Give them my passport. In a week's time. Oh no, in 2 weeks' time, you guys are leaving.
Yeah.
Where are we going? You're going to London. Say who? London. Yeah.
To do what?
I've never been even to Swaziland as yet, man.
Never been to Limpopo.
Niggas. And I'm like, yeah, I know you can't be serious. And yeah, for real. So I went home excited now to go tell them, Mama, London. Yeah? No, Brenda.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I bet you the Brenda part was more exciting than London.
Yeah.
Working with
Fassie.
Brenda was just big.
What do you mean? Already while we were still there, the first week before we were going to go, the weekend, she was already in my car. She giving me a car to drive, dancing like crazy on the tables. I was like, yeah, okay, it's cool. But yeah, this is heavy. And it was happening for real. The next thing I know, the day we're going to leave, she comes to my flat, she gives me the tracksuit I need to wear, only to find that she bought a tracksuit that looks exactly like his. Hey, sir.
So now you're matchy.
Yeah, we're some twins. And this is Brenda Fassie, don't forget. We're in a flight that I don't know how long it's going to take. 14 hours. Brenda Fassie doesn't sleep. In every shot comes, she's dancing on the chair in the flight. She's got the Kumbula Vesnama cassette. Walkman,
yes.
Yeah, Walkman. Oh, this is Henry. She calls me with that name. Henry, oh my God. And people are happy. It's Brenda Fassie. No one is complaining.
Of course.
Till we landed.
To London.
We got to London. That's the album I did. Wow. And that was like amazing for me.
I can only imagine. Do you know what? Let me look for it. Hamba 7. What is the name of the song?
Either Hamba 7. Gyoze Gyovalo. Yes, there's Gyoze Gyovalo.
It's nice.
That's the one. That's what I was doing.
I found it.
Yeah, sorry.
I found it. Like, here it is. Here's the song. Dude, you made us dance.
Yes.
So this is middle of the night. You are now creating this melody.
Beautiful, like that. Crazy. And she came up with the Hamba 7 part, and mostly I would come with the music, and she comes quickly with harmonies.
Yes.
Give a Hamba 7, and
yes, all of that stuff. Yes.
And I think it was, I don't remember where, but it was around. I've forgotten the areas. Maybe around the Auckland Park side, Mel Park, where there was a setup of the studio that we went to.
Oh, actually, no, it's still there, I think.
Yes.
It's a house at a corner, white house, a big studio.
That's it. And you just go inside.
Exactly. As you walk in, you get into the studio of that house.
She loved it crazy there. She was like, phone me, I'm coming to pick you up. Then my voice and
that's where we're going.
And we go, and she just does the chorus, and she's done. Some been so jive. Because some of the voices we had to finish them over when we got to the other side, in London, that is. And I did that whole album, and Patricia Majalisa.
No, wait a second. Yes, I want us to go back to this young boy from KwaThema, who finds himself in London.
Yeah.
That experience must have been quite big for you.
It was it was awesome. It was beautiful. And I remember I was excited and fascinated with the accent.
Oh yeah.
Because I couldn't copy it. I just could hear mate. Mate. And the rest was like, what mate?
It was,
Like,
okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, mate. What you go drink, mate? I'm like, I'm very available, but
cool.
But what I liked is the first 3 days, Brenda disappeared.
What?
Brenda Fassie. She knows people. She made friends. She's gone to a place called Brooklyn or something.
You don't know where she is.
But nobody knows. But we know she's safe. I was told she's safe because they know her.
Don't worry about it.
So I would go to I remember the studio is called Butterfly Studios.
Yeah.
So I would go there, and the equipment was like, wow, what? And then I was enjoying myself because then I keep on asking, and they would show me. Okay, because I've already done my part. I've laid down the tracks.
Yes.
We're just waiting for Brenda to put her voices.
Yeah.
So everything is ready. So just because, wait, can we check out this bass drum? this one. And when I came across the sample of the Akai S2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when it was introduced to you.
Heavy, and showed how low that thing could go. Like the serious rumble to make the lowest low as if you're in the basement. And fortunately at night, those same guys in the studio took me to a basement club
And say,
in the UK. And all you can hear is the bass. And people are nice and high. I can see, and people are screaming, but I cannot hear a thing. Like, what's wrong with this human being? What does this thing say? I'm like, no, my God, no. Okay.
So they tuned it to bass only.
Yeah,
basically.
basically because it's a basement and there's got a lot of subs.
Yeah.
Even if they've got the tops there,
The tops they kill the tops. The subs are.
and people are crazy and they're dancing. And then I decided I'm going to have a Budweiser. As young as I was. Give me Budweiser.
So that's when your Budweiser experience happened.
Yeah. I had a Budweiser. Give me Budweiser again. And I got it. And before you know it, I was starting to hear the actual beat now too. Yeah. Yeah, man, ding. Yeah, yes.
It's nice.
It's like a mate. Yeah, mate.
Cool.
Yeah. I have another one, please.
Wow, man.
I go to sleep. Oh, my head was pounding.
Of course.
So I wake up in the morning hoping that they'll wake me up and say, Brenda is there. It's the third day, rather.
Yes.
Brenda is not there.
Oh, no.
So I met this beautiful lady by the name of Susan Labner. Apparently she was from here originally. And then she went to London to do music and teaching and whatnot.
Okay.
She was doing great. She's a piano player.
Wow.
And Sue Labner was like, listen, I can hear you can play this and that. I was introduced to you by my friend, by the house you came to. I've got a piano in my place, So I'm like, okay, cool.
Let's play.
And then she says, what can you play? And I was still learning. So when she speaks jazz, I was thinking, I haven't went to that line there. I'm in trouble here. And she says, no, don't worry. And do you write your music? I'm like, no. I just know the basics from your A to your G, the chords.
Play by ear.
Yes. She says, I can help you learn. I'm like, wow, for real? And then she was serious. She actually got the things. She was like taking me around while Brenda is not there, to the park, to the Piccadilly Circus.
She was just happy to meet a South African.
I mean, she took me around. I remember there's a park we went to, and these guys just came to and say, hey, Bamba Clad, man.
Oh, no.
You're a traitor, man.
Oh, hell.
I'm like,
was walking with you around.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I think we should get out of here. and actually, that's when I wrote the song precisely with Susan Labner when I came back, though. But while I was still there, what's her name? I forgot her name. But she phoned Sue to say, Brenda is saying on the way to the studio.
Yeah.
We got into
all of a sudden.
Got into a car. She drove me to the studio. I get there. Brenda is already there. He has a microphone like this.
Yeah.
There's a nice beauty, and in the tall chair.
Okay.
Nice,
yes.
The long one, and the table full of all the different beers from that side. There's Budweiser. There's Holsten.
Yeah.
There was like different beers.
All for my brr.
Yeah, she actually brought them herself. Who's it now?
Yeah.
She's telling me where she found a place called Brixton, where she got everything she needs, and she got friends. If I want, I must go with her after the session. And then she's tasting this one. She does her part. And the very same day, I thought that this time we've got Brenda. She's going to nail all these songs like what? Because she knows them.
And then
she nails the 2 songs. And she says, I'm going. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm having a good time.
And it's still early. And here am I again. Say, Sue, what do you think? She says, no, let's go. Go play music. I'll take you around. I'll show you places. And I'm grateful to that because then she showed me the best part of London.
Yeah.
Where I came up with a concept called basement jams.
It came from that experience.
From that experience, because I went a couple of times to understand why they're dancing to this, because I cannot hear the actual beat, man.
Yeah.
It's too boomy. Then I understood as the time went on, and I drank a few Budweisers. It got clearer,
Okay.
And the days were going by.
There is a beat there somewhere.
I'm like, no, this is perfect. So this is how it happened. And then she came. We were supposed to be there for like, what, 2-3 weeks a month?
Yeah.
We were there for 2 months, man.
What?
Brenda Fassie was having fun.
She just didn't want to come back home.
And thanks God, she got me to learn a whole lot of things while I was, because then we were at the Butterfly Studio, so I was learning a few different things, how to use the proper compression
Yeah.
with the gadgets instead of the one that you find on the digitals. I've learned a lot from there.
So that experience started the sound engineer that it became.
It actually, yes, it opened up even, because remember that already I was starting to program.
Yes.
You know, but the mixing part of thing was like, this is difficult, because if you don't mix a song proper, it's dead.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta do it proper or don't do it at all.
Exactly.
So I got to understand this at the panning, the what. I'm like, yeah, man, this is nice.
Yeah, she is so
and
much.
it's a free lesson.
I'm taking this to
KwaThema. I won't get the certificate to confirm.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yes, and it was wonderful. When we came back, the SABC cameras were there at the airport, you know, so Brenda Fassie and the producer, and this is me all nice and shy, like, the camera, no.
Yes.
Wow, cool. My parents are all happy. I went straight home because you remember that the OR Tambo Airport is the closest to KwaThema.
To you, of course, yes. It's close to
lands
home.
by me.
Pretty much. Indlulada.
Yimila. And then I went home, everyone was happy, we had a party, it was beautiful. Thanks God, the next day, Brenda Fassie rocked up with her friends to make the party for my family.
Wow.
Telling them we are family. She loves the music. Already she was planning the video of that one, because it's got a beautiful video, that song.
Yeah.
And off it went.
And became a hit.
A smash hit. And Ku approached Galo. They wanted Activism Nandio for an advert. This was years ago.
Yes.
The contract was renewed again last year. It was like, okay, thanks God. If after the COVID and all that, at least something.
So that music still pays you.
Big time.
Many years later.
Big time, yes. I think it can pay me even better, because I think they've still got some monies hidden elsewhere, especially when it comes to our institutions like Sambro, like Sampras. You know, I like saying it as it is, because it's important that they know we know, and we're going to let people know eventually. We're going to discover what it is that they're doing wrong, so we can correct it, because whatever they're messing up for me, it's going to mess up the rest. And not all of us are strong the same. Some of us are weaker than the other.
And you guys, more than strength, you also know better as well.
And the sooner we can sort out these problems, the better for our future kids to come, or generation to come, because it's messy, it's terrible, and no one is talking about it. We're seeing it happening now. It's getting to another line of the department giving this one the money, that one the money. It's a mess.
That's a story.
And I think if I can, I'm going to try and pave where I can. Because I won't stop. And,
you
nothing will stop me either.
Yeah, and you shouldn't, because, you know, we South Africa's musicians are known to die very poor. Yeah. And yet their music continues to be played and enjoyed, not only on radio, but at clubs and pubs. And those clubs and pubs pay for that music to be played.
You go look at their families now, they've got nothing.
Yeah.
And clearly those people, when they sign, they've got that beneficiaries that must get that money. But they don't get it. They don't get it. That must be rectified.
Yeah.
It has to be.
So these people that are fighting for these rights, they need way more support than they're getting.
There's only a few that are genuine about it. That's the only sad part about it. Some of them are fighting it for their own benefit. Some of them, they want to be popular for being part of the struggle of the musicians. You know, Amandla, which is very weak. Some of them, they do it because they really have the passion. But at some point, when they've seen 1 million, they think twice. You know?
They blew it.
Yeah, they really think twice. You know. So, because then already as it is, I came across about 6 to 7 other new organizations that are representing musicians. If you're not a member of this, if you remember, and these people are
a union,
and they're already collecting money. Who gave them the permission to collect that money if there's no member in their organization in the first place? So all of that, it's a big problem. But it goes back to say we do good music, we do lots of good music, but we die paupers, which is very, very sad.
Very sad. Yeah. All right, on that political note, Brenda Fassie comes, you have a hit song.
Yes.
Clearly that changes your life quite a bit.
Completely. After Brenda Fassie's release, I released Ding Dong Becomes a Smash.
I can tell you, 1991, 92. I'm guessing. You know
Yes.
why? I was at university and Ding Dong was a hit then.
Crazy, like crazy. To a few people, they only thought Ding Dong only got popular when Kwaito, because Kwaito only started to get popular around 93, 94.
Yeah.
But Ding Dong was already kicking
A hit
it.
then.
Kicking it, and everywhere I go, it's Ding Dong. Until today, jeez, like today, Ding Dong.
But the transition from the studio guy to the musician now, to the guy who's in front.
Yes.
Was that something that was already spoken about by the people who were managing you at the time?
I was never being able to be managed. It's just
They couldn't manage you.
so hence I bent my hands a couple of times. But I think it came easy because remember I started as an artist,
Yeah.
a musician,
Yes.
a player. So the studio just became like the simpler way of putting my production together with musicians in mind.
True.
And after that is released and becomes a hit, my thinking was after this I get my musicians, we go on stage and perform my songs.
Okay.
But then the industry as it is in my country got so lousy that it started promoting the backtracks with the dead tapes.
Yes.
And I was happy at some points, because you know what, the stage were not stable. So you've got your table here, you've got your dead machine, and you
When you bounce.
and when you bounce, go. People are mad. Wait, and then throw bottles. I'm like, yes. I'm sorry to say that, guys, but I was the happiest because that was cheating, man.
So the idea was don't put the dead machine on the stage.
Yeah,
Control it at the back.
Yeah, but I didn't say it to those who didn't think of it at the time. I just kept quiet because I didn't really like it. I was bored, to be on that stage alone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come with choreograph and get people to dance for me while I'm singing. Then
You wanted a band.
I wanted a band. I
Yeah.
wanted those musicians. If you can hear Ding Dong now being played live, it's a beauty. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why I would keep on playing it again. Otherwise, then when they say Ding Dong, like, oh God, man, I've got a different repertoire for this event.
No, yeah.
But people want Ding Dong. And
Joe,
that's it.
There are artists that will all perform their first hits. They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. People want it.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't say, I know Mandoza song, what is it, Ngalagat?
Galagad, yeah.
He didn't like performing it.
Anymore, because it was driving him nuts.
It's done.
I know the feeling of him. Look, I've gotten to like it now because the more I grew up, I think I got more comfortable with myself because I'm not discovering myself anymore. I think I know who I am. I know where I would love to be. I know what I would love to give to the people. I'm not here because I want to be a commercial artist. Look, immediately you take your music out to the people out there to be sold, it becomes commercial.
That's true.
But the sooner you take the quality of your music and simplify it so much that it goes very, very fast, that's now commercial music.
It changes
completely now. I don't
Yeah.
want commercial music. I want good music to sell so that it's commercial but good music. And so I want the stage to be that.
Yeah.
Now that I know who I am, I play that song with joy. I mean, the other day I was playing it with one of the old legends who plays the drums.
Who's that?
Winston, Rob Watson. Rob
Okay,
Watson.
okay.
Rob Watson and Mike and some of the guys with great musicians, and we were jamming this on the streaming.
Oh, you did the streaming thing as well.
I've streamed a bit. That's one of my favorite. Stream, man.
Streamed a bit.
Streamed a bit, and especially because the streaming is. At some point, I had to remind the people there with them, man. Listen, man. I know there's only 6 or 7 of you, but you can still clap, please.
There's
man.
6 or 7 of you watching.
You can still.
Let's find Ding Dong and remind everyone of the song, because you know what, this is arguably your first hit, right?
The biggest, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the monstrous.
There's a Ding Dong Reloaded, which is rather not the same song.
Not the same, but it is almost same tempo. Yes. It's just slightly faster from the original.
Yes, because Maria, this is slightly faster.
This is slightly faster, yes. That's it. And I've added the vocoder on this one.
Oh, you did that?
Yes.
Wena star wena Joe.
No, Buddha.
No wena star Joe.
Ah, man, don't make me blush. Black men don't blush, man.
No, don't worry. No one will see you. No one will see the blush. But wena star Joe. You realize that?
Hey, Taser.
You defined a time. Do you know people who make history, they define a particular time in everyone else's lives. Yeah. When we remember our lives, we have a reference to what that person was doing. And Abo Mandela, you know what I mean? We say, hey, yeah, that man. And you made us dance to the stuff.
Everyone. Thank you.
Wow, man.
Thank you.
And your vocal delivery is so different, obviously, from your speaking voice. Yes. But it's very high. What decision to go that route? Because sure, with your talent, you could have taken it anywhere. Or was it a natural sound of your voice that?
Yeah, I think that's the problem I had with my voice from the childhood. I had a very, very tiny voice. And I think I justified it by the fact that I liked Michael Jackson at some point.
Okay, and he had the tiny voice as well.
I tell you what. So my voice was there, and as I was growing up, my voice was kind of maturing with.
Yeah.
Like that's why some of the songs that I did in the past, I redo them now.
Okay.
With the same range,
yeah,
but the voice is more matured. So it comes out
differently and warmer and bigger.
Yes, because I was very young at the time, and I was forcing matters as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so it would come out because if you can listen to the Jackson 5s,
no, of course,
hear the voices were like
A B C,
yeah,
2, 3, the little kids.
So almost the same thing happened there, and I think that's what happened. But I wouldn't say I mastered it from then. It's something that I'm learning almost every day, but I'm growing because also I would have loved once in once. Hello, baby.
Of course, yeah.
But
in a song,
you see, it doesn't go that low.
No, it's not low enough.
It can't be that very high.
It's
and it's frustrating me.
Yes,
He's a magabhlungu.
But what lows are my?
Take my chance. Yes. So, but I think it's when I it's my range, and I don't mind it.
It's a comfortable range.
Yeah, but when I talk, it worries me, you know.
Yeah.
And so, fortunately, as I was growing up, it was slowly changing from 1 to 2. Yeah, no?
Cool. Yes. On the keys, it's going in octave.
An octave higher.
Octave
lower.
Lower.
Not higher, lower. Yes.
Wow, man. But the change in your life that came with Ding Dong, and I say this because at the time, I remember I was at Varsity at 93, and I was a DJ on Odox Radio in Durban. I'd started my radio career there.
Sure.
But late in the year, in November, when other students were writing exams, I got my first show. So, and songs like Ding Dong, we played them over and over again because it's one of the few albums we had in the studios. That must have done a lot for Joe and what came after that.
As an artist, in terms of music and people recognizing my talent, yes.
Yeah.
But as a fair outcome of the payments from the institutions, definitely not.
Oh, hell.
It was a different ball game, that one. I got money, my brother, and I got paid. It's still happening. You know what makes me sad is that some of the board members of these institutions are musicians as well, and some of them are musicians that come from my era.
Exactly.
You know, and when people from my era still finds it okay to take somebody's food out of his mouth and still sleep tight like a baby at night, that must be a devil's child.
Wow.
That must be a devil child at its best. You know? But yes, when I remember that when I went to perform in Durban.
Yes.
Wow.
That's where I was. That's why I remember those Durban gigs.
You know what? I felt like, once again, Michael Jackson. Because when I get there, nobody really knows who I am. Because I'm liking my swotine and my dangari, but in the kumbi with my gents and all that. And my cold drink.
And this tiny little boy.
Yes, I'm chilling there. Hello. I am John Wayne. It's okay. Good. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome Joni on stage. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I go, After that, the kumbi that I'm going to will be a different kumbi.
Of course.
And before you know it, you say C3. By the time we leave, we are 15. There's 15 of us. We start a party.
I emceed a gig in 1994, 95 Durban Westville. On stage, it was yourself, many others, Bob Mabena and what's his name? Doctor had a song.
Yes.
That EPO song. Jabu Kanyile had Malowe, I think, or Tabo, whichever song that was popular at the time. I emceed the gig. So I have a clear memory of that small Jonina.
Can live with 10 people afterwards.
Yeah, because I was a kid as well to have that opportunity.
Because a lot of people, when they said Jonina, they were expecting this tall big guy coming in. And it was just me.
Yeah.
And the voice still was messing me up. I'm like, hello. Like, what? I wouldn't say hello, man.
Bracho.
Yeah, and it's difficult to say that for others because I'm like the same height and they look at my face. I don't have, I'm like,
yes.
but yeah, that was selling me out. But I'm still
and that era lasted quite a bit. It wasn't short-lived. It wasn't Mapiano. It lasted quite a long time.
That was the longest. I think even of my Kwaito career, because remember, Kwaito was gonna live for long, but what happened with it is what's happening to my piano now. But Kwaito was still coming strong, except for the guys were exactly doing what I said earlier on. They were now commercializing.
Yeah. It was becoming quick.
In the studio, you must just think hit. You don't think song. You see, that's the wrong mentality right there. You think a hit, then you're part of the A&R of a major record company.
And you shouldn't be.
No, you must be a musician. You must be an artist. Think craft first. And then money will definitely follow. And 100% and guaranteed.
Yeah.
But they don't think. They think the other way around.
Yeah.
Think money. And then
today's money.
The craft will come.
Yes.
So when they started, because then some of the songs were starting. I mean, if you remember, Skupu Menza, Nulavi, that was the Nina Brothers.
That song.
That was my Nina brother. I wrote that. I gave it to my brothers to do it as the Nina Brothers. It became a smash. If I'm not in a gig in a festival in Durban, the Nina Brothers are there representing.
They're doing.
And heavy. And I'll just get calls. But it then became so choco-blocked, Everyone was starting to be a Kwaito artist. Everyone, literally. Yeah. Everyone was starting to be a Pansula. And then you listen to the content, Amajita was a Kuluminex.
Yeah.
I'm saying, in the first place, wasting so much energy for nothing.
They weren't doing much, really.
And that's when I went to Galo. I was with Galo at the time. I went there and I said, I've got this new song. And I won't mention names because these guys, they're fighting me left, right, and center because I told them and they didn't believe me. Yeah. And it's eating them up.
What is it? What did you say?
I said, I really need to change my music now.
Yeah.
I can never give you Maria Podesta. And allow me, because I'm growing as an artist as well. And I'm speaking like this. I've got something I want to play for you. Let's hear it. So I play the CD, I press play. I see the guy is not even tapping his feet. He's not tapping.
He's waiting for the song to end.
Nothing. Song ends. He says, maybe you must go try something else. This one,
they were still thinking Kwaito.
Yeah, this is completely, I don't even know what to call it. It won't happen. And there was a guy across the room in his office, he was listening. And when I walked out, he said, Joe, I was like, yeah, what's up, man? He calls me in. And that one handles a different division, international division.
Okay.
He's a white brother for that matter. Yes. And then he calls me, Joe, when players come through, what's happening? I'm like, hey, what is it that you were playing in there? Yeah. Says, hey, this is my new vibe, and I don't know. The local department says
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. What do you think? He says, play it again, please. I was listening to it, and I played the guitar there.
This is what you played,
and then it was history.
Wow, man! He said, "This is good."
Yeah, he says, "What do you need to finish the song?" And I said, I just need a little bit more budget because you see the guitar, I did it sitting under the tree there at Bertram's. Yeah. It's not so, so if I can go back to downtown studios because my studio, I cannot do the guitar live in, I can program it.
Okay.
So no, when do you want it? Tonight, tomorrow night, whenever. I just wanted someone who will be hearing what I'm hearing. He says, no, go for it. I was like, yeah? But I'll talk to them. He went straight to the boss instead.
Yeah.
You know, and he talked to them, and before I know it, I got a call. The studio is booked for you from tomorrow onwards if you want.
Jeez.
How many days? Just get us that song when it's
Yeah.
ready. What about, it was the first time I hear that word, by the way. What about an EP? So
Yes,
who is that?
Who's EP?
Who's that? I'm used to either the 45
Uh-huh.
or a full LP
Yes.
or single.
Yes.
No, EP Joe, you can just give us, because it
A
sounds
few
different.
songs,
Well,
yeah.
a few songs of this genre, give us about 5 or 4 or 6, and we'll see what we do with it. That's when I did Smile Out Daily. That was even before there was something called Afropop in my country.
No, of course.
So we give it the very same guy who's giving the...
You still have a grudge.
Yeah,
I can tell.
May his soul rest in peace.
Still
I
have
forgive you.
I can't believe you.
And I told you, man,
This is a hit.
till today.
Amazing. Amazing.
So it was a smash. And just after that, we did a video. But now this song, remember, after that, I gave them in the same EP.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
Tom Zotto, right? So now that one they didn't want it. Already when they had Spali, they said, give us the EPs.
Yeah,
How soon
yeah.
can you? Said, give me just about 2 weeks or so. Because already I've got the ideas. I've got the tracks. I just needed the studio. And they gave me a very good engineer there, you know. And Aldrin was like a crazy man, you know, who knows the sound. We were doing it together.
Yeah.
And like, listen, just plug the bass drum differently. You know how you normally plug the bass drum for Maskandi? This time we put more end. Okay? Just a little bit more. And let's do this one. It's going to be Mpakanga R&B ballad song.
What song is that?
The sugar, my chocolate.
Oh, we have to play it. We have to play it.
Domzo dwangu.
Don't twangu.
Ah,
Na 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 na. Come on, man. My system is so slow today.
and it was so crazy that the video was also joined. The video of Tom Zotto and Smiley was actually one video. That's Nomtana, so?
No, I'll find Tom Zotto.
Zotto and Tom Zotto, yes.
Yes.
And now
I like how well you know your music. I'm playing the wrong one, and he's like, nah, that's not the one. Your record label must load these things.
no, don't worry. Killer Joe Records will take over.
Yeah, they're not on thingy on Spotify. I'll tell you that much.
Yes. Now Killer Joe Records will take over.
Let me tell you what's on Spotify, which is quite impressive. I'm sure you'll enjoy this stuff.
Yo. Ebunzimen.
Yes.
I think that was because it was licensed. Then we own this 100% through the other company.
Okay, because there's a lot of this. This full album is there.
This one, 100% by us.
But wait a minute, when was this done?
This was done
Before or after
No.
Smiley?
This is after now. This is now when I was taking over the genre of after Smiley.
Yes.
After when I was really into this vibe of music. Because for me, all it was from Smiley, it was basically bringing back Mpakanga,
Yeah.
but in a modern way.
That's it.
And believe it or not, I was kind of inspired by Ubab Jabukanyile.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Actually, it does have that.
Yeah,
that-
simple as that. It's just that they didn't place Ubab Jabukanyile to that. They wanted to keep him on the adult contemporary.
Yes.
I wanted it to be a crossover.
Yeah, and then they also, I imagine, wanted to sell him as an international artist, and with this world music thing that they went on that journey.
It was a big mistake, though.
Yeah.
Because he was a crossover.
Yeah.
They were the world was going to pick him up either way.
Yeah.
And the same as this. This was Mpakanga, Pure Maskandi, and all of them. After that, I did that. But the story is almost the same.
Which one?
No, this is Wemganwami.
Yes.
That was a smash. That too was part of the EP.
Of course it was. Yes, it was part of that EP.
That was part of the EP. I think the EP was Smiley, Tom Zotto, Pumagimi.
I'll tell you.
Because the full album of the EP was Mababaza.
Yes.
That's the full
That's
album.
the album, yeah.
All the songs.
Yeah. So eventually they said this is working.
It was the guy even resigned. That's what I'm trying to say. He resigned literally because when I walk in there, everyone, hey Joe, are you okay? And come to me in the office, are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah, how did are you ready for the next album? I'm like, I mean, this one, no, we're just checking. Come meet me for lunch.
Yes.
And it was happening. Like, it was crazy.
I remember this time so well because your career had almost a new direction,
Absolutely.
but a brand new audience as well.
Completely,
Yeah.
yes. So those who known me as a quite artist, like, I'm fit.
Yes.
Amanje.
What
I'm like,
happened?
that's cool song. We should all grow together. I said, next, mfethu kanjani? No, mfethu.
yeah.
Ish mfethu. Umaria phone, usabona. Man.
Smiley nota.
No, masisila mfethu. Ubona amadoda ahlukumezana la ngaphandle.
And you also had a female audience now, a big female audience. Because Kwaito can be quite strong and
Yes,
masculine. And
absolutely.
the music of machita.
Kakhulu, yes. Which is the point I was trying to say. Namapanzula can still be okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And now this direction.
That one.
Aboche.
Ababaya yo.
I like that pause.
It was rough. Yo.
Aboche remind you, but
Tavita, it was too wild, you know. It was too much. It was too
wow,
much.
man.
Yeah, this one was the scary part. This one was those ones who to put me festival in. We've got your key, but to tell us about the room in Lago.
Hey, my thought. Bangene kanja.
Kanjani mana leni pogo lena slides. I just mfuna kule room le. Man, this is wrong.
You open.
Yeah, told one or two yana. Hello. Hey, hello. That's just key. It's with some picking vocals. Yeah. So the party starts after party. It's a problem. And it was beautiful.
So you had ladies lie to reception today. You're begging vocalists.
But told her inside the room already. Yeah, like this. What if you
I'm actually quite impressed that you stayed sane, like your brain stayed okay. It didn't take over your life, all of that.
No. Fortunately, no, that didn't. I think the only thing that got me a little bit insane is then as I was growing into the music industry, and I was realizing the terrible things that are going on in my industry. The control that has been taken over from musicians, the control that has been taken over from musicians by the media, and that mentality of saying to each musician, we can make you and break you, and musicians still fall for it, and they still come up and they want to be people that live their life with controversy. Think I'm going to be controversial, they're going to capture me, it's going to sell my record. I thought that was crazy mentality. And that was driving me a bit nuts, you know. Because every time when Yeovil was still Yeovil,
of course,
when I get there, I would find all these people talking about arts, and I was into that, you know. I collect a lot of paintings.
Okay,
as well, and I know a lot of painters as well. And that was driving me crazy because I couldn't understand. But why would you let people do this to us?
What's going on?
What happened to our legal department? If there's any. Okay, why can't we say a thing for ourselves as well? But the industry, I think it was the fact of I am a man, I'm a human being, and I love my life, and I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible. Because I didn't want a situation where they think you were there, now you're here. No,
that's true.
I introduced some of my guys that I went to school with, like since primary standard 1. Some of them are still my friends.
Wow.
They will still chill together. I drive them home at night and come back, I sleep, and we are all happy.
So that part did not change.
Still me. And I'm grateful to that because I think that was keeping me to get humbled by a lot of beautiful things that come my way.
It's an interesting thing because, it's a trap. I was watching a soccer game. Ulo Jabupule was talking about, the trappings of fame. It's a burden that you struggle with. He was talking about some young player who plays for Kaizer Chiefs. He was saying, I hope this boy must stay with the right people, man. Because we went the wrong direction.
Absolutely. And it happens. It happens. I mean, like the drugs part of it. It's a standard.
Yes.
and you get introduced to it.
It's almost like nai.
But introduce it as if it's the cool thing. If you want to be a good writer or if you want to be
You
a
should
good
do
player,
this.
you should try this. I'm telling you, try it. You know, you'll see, you'll open your mind.
You'll write more.
It's by choice, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's by choice. And for some of us, I think I'm crazy in my
Yeah.
own special way. If I was to go that route, I'll go mad.
You'll get worse.
Abnormal. Like crazy abnormal. So I'm very grateful to the Ultimate Nabatala. They managed to keep me sane.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you noticed that and you're reminding me.
No,
that, you know,
yes.
if I'm still sane, I want to keep it this way forever, man.
You didn't stop making music. There's an album after the Spali project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which was another big one.
Of course.
So after Spali,
You were on a high,
I was a
man.
journey, man. You know, I was telling someone that sometimes when you are within the momentum, keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know when your energy is going to go
That's
low.
true.
Don't even look at people loving you or not. Your
Yeah.
energy is what counts the most.
That's
counts
true.
the most,
Yeah.
sorry. And after that, I did, obviously, after the EP, I did the full album of,
Spali and all those songs.
I did the
yeah.
full album of Mababaza,
Yeah.
which includes all those songs.
Mhm.
And there was one song in particular that I added called Thank You, My Lord.
Okay.
And then what happened is that we got that song released and the album just a few months after my car accident. So that album should be released in 2000, if I'm not wrong. The Mababaza.
We should be able to find it. Bababaza is an obvious album of yours. There you go. It has all these songs. Of course, you'll recognize them immediately.
This one, I think it was underrated. It should still be played.
So there is the song you're talking about.
This one. This one. This one.
It's Jonina going gospel here.
It's joining a religious and spiritual. Yes, man. Yeah. Dave, this song is. So we released this song.
Yeah.
What year is it? Can
Does
you
it
see?
say? I'll tell you now. I'll
Okay.
tell you. Let me look for the credit of the song. It's not showing me.
Because after this song was
It says 2000 here, but it's probably when it was loaded. It says 2000 here.
yeah, 2099, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
yeah.
Then 2001, I had that terrible car accident.
Yes. We are happy not.
I was actually finishing off some of the songs there because that was going to be released towards the end
Okay.
of 2000.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Yeovil. I'm leaving the studio in
Yeah.
Kew.
Okay.
I'm driving down Louis Botha. Just by the care of my tire decided hello. I didn't bump anyone. The road was clear.
All on
Everything
your
was
own?
Okay. Straight to the pole.
Oh no.
And all I remember was that I woke up in the hospital
Jesus.
after a month or so.
After a month.
Then they told me I was in a coma.
For a month you were gone.
Just when they were about to say to the machine, Excel,
Yeah.
we tried. That's when they had started giving a little bit
Wow.
of
And
hope.
yeah, good to know there's someone there. Wow, man, all on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in the car, it was the two of us. It was me and Lutando.
Yes, yes.
The guy I used to work with a great deal. He passed on a few years ago.
But yeah, obviously, and how bad was he relative to
That's
you?
the strange part of it. He just got a hip dislocation.
Yes, and when you were
And it was
out.
fun. And me, I was gone. And when I woke up, they kept him there because he wanted to stay with me in the hospital since
Yeah.
he was injured. When I woke up, apparently he was there. They took us to the same ward.
Jeez.
So when they were saying he must come out February or something like that, I told the doctor, do me a favor. If he goes, I'm going to be bored. You know, I don't mind the other patients as well.
Yes, but I need my boy.
Because I've got a guitar. I got a gift of a guitar while I was there.
Yes.
So I would write some things while in bed and he would back me up from there and throw the guitar to him and play a few things. I back him up. So it was fun in the
Yes,
hospital.
it wasn't so bad.
And the doctors were nice, you know. And once in a while, they pushed me outside to get some fresh air.
It wasn't so bad. Eh?
Yeah. But what's important for me at that time is that when I got out of the hospital, that's the song I decided to do a video of
Yeah.
while I was on a wheelchair.
Yeah. And you written that song at that time.
It was around. It was before the accident. That's what
Yes.
a
Oh,
lot of
it was,
people-
yeah, it's
A lot of
interesting.
people thought I wrote the song after. No, I wrote it before.
Yeah.
And before I was just thanking God for my life in
Yeah.
general, because
Yeah.
I had survived a lot already as it
Jeez.
was, you know. There was all these AIDS diseases.
Of course.
There
of
was
course.
all these drugs killing
You
heavy
survived
and still
drugs.
serious.
Yes.
I survived AA as well.
Yes.
When some wanted to really take me in through, I'm like, but why? I only do it when I want to do it. I don't do it when I don't need to do it.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, the person must go. There's a person who
can't stop themselves.
depends
on it,
completely
yeah,
on such,
yeah.
you know, on that substance that is.
Yeah.
And I wrote that song. The video of that, it was
Yeah.
just another lifter. And immediately after that, I wrote the full album of
Yeah.
Nomthandazo. And some of the songs that I wrote on Nomthandazo, I wrote them in the hospital while lying down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then
Jeez,
after
man.
Nomthandazo, we did. There's quite a lot of. I think I did about 5 or 6 or 8 more albums under this
Yeah.
genre, which is why to date the one I'll be releasing will be my 30th album.
What?
30.
Dude.
30.
That's not that's not even half your life.
Yes. And it's my 30th, yes,
You-
which is called 2020.
You've done a lot. Oh, no,
In a short space of time.
you might as well call it COVID. You might as well, at the rate we are going, yeah. Might as well call it COVID.
Because it's too heavy.
Yes.
Splashing off these things.
Wow, man.
And I'm grateful. Yeah. And this one in particular has been the toughest album to make.
Why is that?
Because when I started it, I called it. I think the few preparations for the 2020 album. We started
Yes.
it in 2019,
Okay.
and already I was so looking forward to this beautiful year,
Yes.
2020. Just the 2020 on its own was
Yeah.
fascinating for me.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna call the album "Come with Me, Love Me, Leave
Yes,
Me,
yes.
Care for Me," or no. I'm just gonna call it 2020.
Yeah.
And I started moving, and 2 months down, a
Yes.
month earlier, I got sick.
Ooh.
I got sick,
Yeah.
crazy sick, and I couldn't play anymore. This time my hands are sore. This is crazy. This
Jeez.
depression they
Oh,
would call
no.
it, and
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
things.
Stress, they would call
And
it.
before I know it, I thought that that part is gone, and then it's locked down.
Yeah, almost immediately after.
Yeah,
yes.
just as I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to go back and
'Cause-
pay the revenge of this time.
Because you and I arranged this literally a year ago,
Yes,
and we couldn't do it.
completely.
We literally had to wait.
A very long time, eh? and the lockdown. I'm thinking, okay, but how do I do this after this? After now, I'm doing singles after singles
Yeah,
after singles
yeah.
after singles.
I know you've done some piano song as my piano song as well.
Well, my love song kind
Yeah.
of groove is kind of my
From
piano
that,
move.
yes, exactly.
Yes. And it was basically just to say to the guys, I don't mind the my piano vibe, you know, but I'm seeing the same mistake that happened with Kwaito
Yeah,
as it is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's becoming a bubblegum for real.
exactly.
The words, the content is
Yeah.
gone. The production,
Yeah.
man, you boop, boop, boop. It's a bass drum that
Yes.
so boop, boop,
Wow.
and then it's that.
Of
That's
course.
the song.
That cuts
And
across.
I'm like, let's mix it because there's some songs when
The
you
sounds
listen,
are amazing.
there's potential of a beautiful composition in this thing. If it was only to be put together properly with no rush and with no mentality of I wanna be
Yeah.
a star tomorrow, you know, and make a hit tomorrow.
But you have to give them benefit of the doubt. They're going through exactly what you guys went through. If you think about it from a genre point of view,
Yeah.
it was they don't have the gift of hindsight. They can't look back because they were not there.
True.
This is their experience, and they're saying, "Lenti yashisa ndoda, finally sidle manje." And they also have the fear that Kwaito didn't last so long. Gom had a great chance. They're saying, Nati, this is our chance. Let's do this quickly. So it's very tricky to advise someone and make sense to them.
When they're thinking like that.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely.
when they're thinking like that. See, my point would be, it's okay. I understand the mentality and them thinking like that.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that if it doesn't last, it's going to bring upon a lot of depression upon them all. Because then that limelight soon will go into the darkness.
Yeah.
And when they're in the darkness and they have no clue where they come from, where they're going, they're going to stay there forever.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm trying to say. My point is, and my fear is just that more than anything. And secondly, even if you believe this is our chance, a little bit of advice once in a while is important.
That's true.
But in their case, they don't want to take any because, like you say, who old school, let Peter hear. And I'm trying to say, I've said that, it's good that you've even mentioned Gom. I told them after quite what happened, and I told them when I was staying in Durban that Gom, be careful, it will never make it over 10 years, if not less. And it's I don't want to say I predicted it. It was just my experience of what I've seen in the past.
You've been down
as the genres
road.
go around, because that's all it is. Music is music.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, it's gonna go back to its music proper. If you,
It all goes back to the beginning.
if you can't play an instrument, that's when that limelight will take you into the darkness.
Yeah.
Because what you gonna do? You can't play. We want you to come with us to stage. You can't.
Eish.
You can't have a DJ or two DJs on stage. We've got our own laptop, which is then streaming with us or
It's
lined up with us already. So we don't need anyone controlling
Yeah.
that. That's why we have a drummer.
Uh-huh.
Already that guy has got that job as a drummer because
Yeah.
he's the rhythm of the whole band.
He's the timekeeper.
Absolutely. So if you don't know all those things and you really believe that it's your time, then be careful because when the time is gone,
Eish.
it's completely gone. It will never come back.
And you speak with the authority on the subject because you have reference of when it looked like the lights are off, and that's essentially what you're saying. Take us through moments where you started feeling like, hey, this is going this. What was your experience of that?
It started exactly before it did Bali.
Yeah.
When the time of Kwaito becoming Kwaito, like everyone Kwaito.
Yeah.
Already I was thinking, hey, first of all, this is all we know. Okay, I know Mpakanga, but people already don't want to listen to the Soul Brothers. People don't even know Mahlatini. People don't know Spokesmashiach. And who will I tell about these stories as it is? And then I was starting to feel like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And God gave me that song to wait a minute, and I got Sbali. But then came that moment, and then there was so-called by whoever that names our music in the industry in our country.
Who gives them genres?
Yeah, they put them in a stupid box.
Yeah.
Literally in a stupid box. He calls them Afro-pop. Afro flipping pop. I mean, why do you call beautiful?
It's still called Afro-pop.
Why would you call beautiful music that? I don't know. But in any case, so it's called that. But that too was starting to get the same thing because you see, what happens is people who come into the industry just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do, but do whatever that is there at the time.
That's whatever that's happening then.
At
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
And then they get chock-a-block again. It's jam-packed.
It's
Congestion at its best. And it's a happening song. You find it in every car, in every shibin, in every place, and it's playing.
John Vulikate.
But I'm not saying this to diss them. That's what was happening
No,
to
and
me.
I get it because you're telling
It was
what happened before.
to me. And that time when I was trying to record, that's when I left the major record companies.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do this on my own. But that was a bad move too because then it meant I had to do everything from my pocket.
True. Yeah.
It meant I have to think of doing a video myself.
I
I must get a designer to do my cover. I must get until I got this licensing deal with one of the companies, which is Share Sound at the time. And they said, no, come, man, we love what you do.
Yeah.
But then they also didn't take it to where I wanted it to go. It was just licensing. They were happy to have my catalog. That's all they wanted.
Yes.
That's all they wanted. Nothing to do with my music anymore. Just as long as they've got this catalog, it might work 10, 20 years later. For them, it's an investment.
Absolutely.
For me, it's music. I live it every day.
Yeah.
I just wanted, and I was struggling. I was really going. Before I know it, everything was going online.
And that happened so quickly. Eh?
That was too fast. Before I know it, when people tell me about interviews and things, they would also check. The final question. Okay, now thank you very much. It was nice having you. What's your handle?
I'm now my handle.
Ubani? Handle. Oh my goodness. Who is that now? Handle. No, I mean your Twitter handle. Still Twitter handle Ubani.
What are your handles?
Hey, I was struggling. David, come on, Pella, my friend.
Do you have a handle now?
I've got an idea of these handles, man. But it took me a while. Now I know. I just asked them to do my handle same, like at Jonina 50 finish and clar. Yeah, but there's still another handle about Facebook. It's just Jonina. Now that I know it's easier, now I know who the handle is.
It's funny. Looking for I'm saying I know handle.
Oh, Mama alone here, man. Unless you know you've got a new parlor to could you give me a new duet, maybe?
I don't have a handle. That's funny.
You know? But yeah, now I need.
Interesting today on the show, on my radio show, because I never mention my Twitter stuff at all. It's just how I am. I don't see the need to make a big deal of all of that. And I started having a new producer today. And she said, so why don't you ever mention your handles? Like, I just don't. I know it's 2021 in April. I still don't acknowledge handles. I just
handles
don't.
Are heavy stuff. So, but I was, now to emphasize and conclude my point. So I was getting very frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to see a vinyl anymore.
Jeez.
I'm never going to see a cassette anymore.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see a CD anymore. Mm-hmm. Already in the cars, as you can see, there are no more CD players in there.
It's USBs.
Even
USBs have changed.
Yeah, now
they're smaller.
And the shapes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
My goodness.
There's a USB-C. Let me see if I have one.
Don't rub it in, man.
Yes.
Don't rub
look
it
at them now. This is how they look like now. They are much, much smaller.
This one is too into the phone.
Yeah. No. You can put it anywhere.
Even
cars now, they come with this little thing.
You check.
This is probably 20 gigs.
I need to get new handles.
You need new handles, new USBs,
everything. But you understand all that. Like I said earlier on, remember I said I've realized there's also advantages in this whole change, but I've seen more of the disadvantages of it. You know, it is taking away from the actual art itself.
Yeah.
You know, our personally, I believe our craft is hands-on. Our craft is about feeling. Our craft is about healing the souls right next to you at that point in time. I don't see myself healing anyone through the streaming of the performance. Like I tried the other day. It was difficult. It was so difficult. I was thinking, maybe you must dilute my drink, man.
Because I can't do this.
It's heavy, you know, and it's something that I don't want to say I can't do it. It's something I'm saying I'm willing to try. But give me that window to say if I fail, or rather I don't want to fail, but if I take longer, it's just because I can't let go of the real thing, because I'm born for the real thing.
That's it.
All this simplicity, I appreciate it. It's beautiful. But I love the real thing. I love the real thing for what it is.
I must tell you, having done almost 30 albums now, which is what you'll be releasing, it's interesting how your passion is still exactly the same. You haven't changed your love. Because you know, music takes you through all these waves, the highs and the lows. But you stay with the highs and the lows. The love for it remains consistent. It's like when you meet this girl that you love so much.
Absolutely.
And some days you don't like her.
You see now,
but you still love her.
It's still the same. Yes. No, with music for me it's different. You know, I even get frustrated when because like I said, 2020 for me to take long to complete. Just to adjust to the fact of lockdown,
all of that,
and the regulations and the changes, and you see, the reason I don't like news is because they depress me. You know, before I know it, I'm hoping I'm gonna hear something wonderful, and then I just hear the money of the PPP, DP funding to help the people is being chowed.
Yes, the food parcels didn't reach the destination.
And then I get miserable. I get frustrated.
Or the potholes.
And then
yesterday they were talking about potholes.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to go play and nothing comes. Because my heart is pouring pain in there. It's just, I can't understand. How does a human being do this
Do
to
this
another human being.
Yeah.
Something must be wrong with their hearts now. You know,
Yeah.
it's either they've gotten so crazy or the devil has come over them. I wish I
Jeez.
was. I wish I was a Christian. I was going to say Shabalala fire, Viti, and so they can leave. And
You will speak in tongues.
yeah, without dissing anything. I was on that as well. But then for songs to come, it was.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I think I'm only on my 10th song
Jeez.
a year.
How many songs? Well, you can stop and release.
Yes, I was told.
You don't have to.
I'm just not good in taking instruction, but I was told, you know.
You can stop and
Yeah, they
release.
said release it as it is. I'm like, yeah, one more.
And,
You see, my idea was 2020, 20 songs.
I that's a
would have-
lot of pressure.
You know what I mean? I would have loved that, but clearly I cannot crack it. It's a bit heavy.
That's a lot
So,
of pressure.
If I can just go a bit over 10, you
Yeah,
know, 11,
yeah.
12, even 15.
At least,
If
yeah,
they-
but
okay, no, 12. 12. 12.
Okay.
Okay, days of 12. No, thank you. I'm taking that instruction. 12.
Who, in your opinion, currently, or over the past 5 years or so, in your opinion, is still true to their craft? The music still matters. And when you listen to them, it's like, man, they're still hot. Who comes to mind?
Ratemam Keys.
Really? It's jazz, eh?
Yeah, I know. I mean, when we're talking craft, you know,
Yeah.
you must remember that it has changed so much that the word craft itself is overused.
That's true.
The word
yes.
craft itself has
Yeah.
lost its meaning. But there is a few, but then I'm so not into it that much, I don't even remember their names.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
because I see hope and I see, wow, you know, there's potential.
Yeah.
But already when you meet that individual, you see the way they carry themselves. You know.
Hey, because there's
It's a-
also that to deal with.
I
eh?
cannot say a word here, you know, so I can only but wish them luck. You know, I wish you stay constant and
Yeah,
keep on keeping on,
yeah.
because this world can crush you. This industry can crush you. You know,
Yeah.
and it can bring a lot of depression into you, into your life, into your family. You know, but there's only a few. I mean, I can only think of Branda firsthand because I've been dying to do so much with him.
Okay.
And time is not really allowing.
Yes.
And lately it's all that. There is some young musicians that I'm working with as well. You
Okay.
know? I see that the way they love their music, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
I know that they're driven by wanting the money,
Yes.
but that's all they have.
Fortunately, they have you to tell them.
Yes, but also there's no salary for us.
That's
remember?
true.
So for them, they depend on that 1,000 rand they can
Yeah.
get for any session, which
Yeah.
can last them for another 2-3 weeks or so.
That's true.
And for me to get 10,000 rand to share it with everyone, it becomes nothing still. But
Yeah.
we have to.
Let's play this game with you quickly and see how good you are. What song is that? What song is that? What song is that?
Puma game.
What song is that?
Twister.
Are you sure?
Anomthandazo, sir. I lost it.
I knew I'll question
He
you.
always comes and crashes me, and it's not fair, man. You're killing crap. Slick, Lukanji. My love song. That's still fresh.
You know, your love for music, my man, is inspiring, and
Thank you.
I hope it stays this way. And
Thank
and you have to educate, and I love that you're passionate about the education part of it. As in, let's tell the young people we've been down this road.
Let's share, yes.
Yes, share the knowledge. And how, as I said earlier, when you walked into the studio already saying, move this around, move these speakers. I like how the engineer in you remains
Yes.
such an important part of you.
Thank you, Dave.
And I say, I wish you well with 2020.
Thank you.
You might as well call it COVID.
12 songs. 2020 COVID.
12 songs. Or you might as well change it to 2021. You're stuck with the
Yeah,
time.
because 2020 has got terrible moments, man. People passing on, people we know, people we love, closest musicians we care about. I was talking to Baba Jonas Kwangwa not so long ago until they told me his son was so happy to be talking to me. I was looking forward, by the way, to do my interpretation of Flowers of the Nation.
Why don't you?
I
So
would
you
still
can have
go-
a conversation.
I was hoping we let the Yeah, I don't want to be like those
No, of
people
course,
who
yeah,
put
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking, mina no abaku besikhulumile, so let's do this tomorrow
Yes, yes.
and ride on them.
No, you can't. No, that's
way.
you can't.
I think it's terrible, but it's
Sorry.
so unfortunately I won't change it to any other year because I want to mark 2020.
Yes,
It's been a
yes,
very
yes.
difficult, painful,
Yeah.
challenging year, and at the same time a year that has taught some of us, like me for instance, to try and survive regardless.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
to try and regardless, you know, I cannot go and knock at the department's door and say, I've heard you talking funding. When do I
Where
get a
is the
form to
money?
apply? I cannot go to SAMRA and say, you guys, aren't you thinking of, instead of us asking for advances, just from the money that's lying there,
Give us
10 each or something, all your members, because
Yes.
without all these members, you are nothing. You have no office. You have no benefits.
That's true.
Simple as that. So I would love to share that, but then again, I don't want to be seen as the only one who talks and fights for
Eish.
issues that everyone else thinks is okay. You understand? I'm just going to talk about these moments when it faces me because it frustrates me.
It's not easy to fight though, Joe. It's not easy to be the one that being a Mandela is a very
Tough one.
tough
I
position to
promise
be.
you, I know.
Yeah, to be the one that raises your hand first
I
to
know.
say, and like Nisjalaga.
I know for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it quietly to one or two or three of
Yes.
them. That's why they make sure I don't go near to their offices.
they help you out quietly.
Yeah, and then they
Yes.
know that I don't want to make noise. I don't want to get to my handles, you know, because I can be bad with those handles, man. And now I can be bad with those handles. I'm gonna soon make sure that people know about you all that way you're abusing me.
leave the handles alone.
Thank you, Deza. Thank you very much.
I wish you well, my man. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
The title Legend, is it one that you're happy to carry?
Yeah. Oof. Yes, I believe it's got a heavy load.
True.
As it is,
Yeah.
you know, and someone was calling me 2 weeks ago telling me that they put my name through to some awards because now we've got 20 awards in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah? Everyone does a program of his own awards.
Start or not?
Yeah, since a hit. It's me a lifetime achievement. I'm still going on strong, man. Don't give me like I'm still achieving more. I want more. God has kept me here for a reason. So legend, I will appreciate it a great deal. But
Yeah.
it means more work for me. It means more focus. It means more creativity.
That's true.
Because the creative world has become, for me personally, so weak.
Yeah.
I can't hear much, you know, like the song you played for me, that's
Yeah.
a beauty,
Mhm.
you know,
African Child.
yes, the way that it's been arranged for the Lion King,
Yes,
definitely,
yeah.
you know, but as a song on its own, I think it's a beautiful production.
Yeah, yeah.
The sound, the way it sounded,
Yeah.
nice one.
Press.
And don't feel bad, no issues that I don't know you yet. There's
Yeah.
just too many of us, not y'all. There's just too many of us out there, and I
Yeah.
only know a few, and I don't have television.
Yeah, oh,
So,
really? You live
yes.
a very easy life.
Yes, and the television is for the kids to watch
Yeah.
whatever. Me, I just watch movies once in a, and I pick my movies. you
That's
know.
it,
So
yeah.
I can't tell you, hey man, hey, David, did you hear this new artist? Except for the ones that bring me the songs and say,
Yeah,
please check
yeah,
this out. Yes.
yeah.
But thank you so much, and thank you again, and thank you for having us after a year of waiting.
Jeez, we waited long.
Thank you. I waited long too.
Yes.
But thank you.
In my world, you are a legend and deserving of a lifetime award. I think these awards are good to give them to people who are here to enjoy them. And I say to you, congratulations on your amazing career.
Thank you.
We wait for another 30 albums. I know it's a lot of work. and I'm glad at some point you saw the light and took you off ramp and left Kwaito.
For sure.
Because
thank you.
it lengthened your career slightly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It doubled the time
Absolutely.
that some artists had, you know.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
most of them are gone already, even if they're still alive, but they can't be there now.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
they're trying to revive themselves through Amapiano. But for me, I think it's almost the same platform.
That's
so
true.
It's a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree. Mapiano, I'm not dissing you. I just want you to do it the right way so
Yeah.
that you can have longevity. You know, that's all I need. I want to see you guys be successful. Don't bring us more depression within the musicians. Bring us joy. I need joy. I want to be happy. I need love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say to, as we conclude, to a young artist who is making my piano now, and you look at him, it's like, that's me when I was making Kwaito. What are you saying to that guy right now, that one guy?
Yeah. that one guy in particular, and I wish I could say I came across a few of those already in the industry as it is. But that one guy in particular, whatever you do within this genre of music, please find your originality, you know, and stick to it regardless. And don't be told that you cannot do something else. Within the Mapiano, you can still open it up. I promise you can still have Mapiano ballad if you want. Or you can still have Mapiano beautiful romantic Mapanzula song.
Yeah.
But whatever you do, don't just do it for commercial purposes. Yeah. Do it for yourself. Do it for your kids if you plan to have any in the future. You know, and love yourself, humble yourself, and challenge your industry in terms of music. You know, get to learn different things and ask if needs be. You know, it will only but help. You know, don't be pompous, don't be arrogant, because it will just make you an arrogant, rather an arrogant, ignorant idiot.
That's what happens, eh?
Yes. So all the best for you out there. I send much love and blessings upon you all within your music industry. But please find originality. I believe it's somewhere there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Nina. Makosin lo. Thank you very much.
I thank you a great deal.
Thank you.
Beautiful one.
Sharp.